Hi, I'm Phil Borders. I'm a psychiatrist here in Central Indiana at Hendricks Therapy, and today we are going to discuss perfectionism. Now, this is going to be a first of many videos because perfectionism is quite common and it's quite problematic. Um, it's also known as the dark enemy of mental health. So, perfectionism is quite common. It's been estimated that 30% of high school students are perfectionistic, and they also make really good patients. They tend to be hardworking, motivated, they show up on time, they pay their bills, and they really want to work hard on improving themselves. They want to be perfect at their job. They want to be perfect at their relationships. They want to be perfect at school, which all sounds like a really good idea, but it's really not. It's a really good idea only if you are, say, an Olympic figure skater. If you're an Olympic figure skater, you have to be perfect. For the rest of us, not so much. It's unattainable, and we are going to consistently fall short. So, perfectionism is really not such a great coping strategy. It creates a lot of mental health problems such as depression, it creates anxiety. It's not great for your medical health, and people who are perfectionistic tend to die earlier, and dying earlier is, probably not a really good outcome. So, not a good coping strategy, not something great to do, unless, again, going back to the Winter Olympics, you are the figure skater. You have to be perfect. Um, for the rest of us, it's just unattainable. It's unattainable, and we're always going to fall short, and that just doesn't feel very good. So, perfectionists tend to have certain ways of thinking and certain habits that they fall into. One habit or way of thinking is I have to apologize all the time. If I'm maybe wrong, if I could be wrong, I need to apologize. And while on the surface that sounds like a nice thing to do, if you apologize too much, then you're less attractive to others. And it's like you take your self esteem and you just kind of throw it in the trash. So, apologizing too much, not so great. Another habit that perfectionists tend to fall into is they ask for reassurance too much. And reassurance it's kind of like a hit of cocaine. It feels really good for a while until you need another hit. And what reassurance does, it takes your power, your decision making, and it gives it to somebody else. So just say my wife dumps me and I'm dating some woman and I'm always asking her, hey, are we okay? Hey, are we okay? Hey, are we okay? After a while, she's going to get sick of it, and it's going to make me unattractive. It's going to make me feel weak. And again, it gives all the decision making power to her, or in other cases, to him. People who are perfectionistic hate making mistakes. So they will ponder, should I do this? Should I do that? Do I need to make this decision? And people who are perfectionistic will avoid making decisions because of the fear of making mistakes. And if you're not making mistakes, you're not in the game. You're out of the game. And if you look at your really successful people in this world, they are a-okay with making mistakes. They dust themselves off and they start afresh. I remember reading a biography of Harry Truman, and the guy was just a mistake-filled dude. I mean, he failed social studies. He was terrible at this. He was miserable at that. And he would just get up and try again. And eventually he became our 33rd president. One thing that perfectionists do is they're very, very afraid of disappointing others. They're afraid, well, if I disappoint her, um, she's not going to like me anymore. And if you're afraid of disappointing people, then, stay in bed. It's just too dangerous out there if you can't disappoint people once in a while. And when people who are perfectionistic learn to disappoint others, a couple things happen. One is they figure out that, like 95% of the people, they actually are okay with it. The other 5%, ooh, I really don't want them in my life anyway. They're not really good people. They tend to be users. And it also feels good that when you learn to disappoint others, that you realize that they love you for who you are and not just for what you do. So, in summary, when you learn to be able to not apologize, when you learn to be able to disappoint others, when you learn not to apologize too much, when you learn to not ask for reassurance, it's freedom. And what we're going to look at in our next video is how people who are perfectionistic, how they basically think differently. And we're going to look at that. So again, my name is Phil Borders. I work at Hendricks Therapy. Thank you for your time.